Welcome back everyone, and thank you for joining me as we dive into one of the most unbelievable discoveries in the world of rare American coins, a world where the smallest pieces of metal can suddenly transform from ordinary pocket change into extraordinary treasures worth more than anyone ever expected. Today we are exploring an astonishing story centered around the mysterious 1994 Liberty I dime that has been associated with a value reaching as high as $655 billion because of the extreme rarity of its errors, the unusual events surrounding its minting, and the extraordinary possibilities collectors believe may exist within this coin. Even though it appears just like any other dime at first glance, in its rarest and most extraordinary form, it becomes a coin so legendary, so unique, and so mysterious that its value stretches far beyond what we normally understand in numismatics. And despite its connection in name to the Lincoln penny world, this strange crossover error has fascinated collectors everywhere, creating a story unlike any other. Imagine someone picking up an ordinary dime from the sidewalk, unaware that this small silver-colored coin hides an impossible secret. Most people would notice the smooth surface, the familiar outline of President Roosevelt on the obverse, the torch and branches on the reverse, the date 1994, and the small d mint mark beneath the year. They would probably slip it into their pocket without a second thought. But behind that ordinary appearance lies a world of extraordinary possibilities, because certain rare 1994 D dimes are believed to have been struck with errors so severe, so dramatic, and so unlikely that they have become the center of some of the most sensational stories in American coin history. When people hear about a coin being worth hundreds of billions of dollars, their first reaction is disbelief. How could such a tiny object carry such enormous value? The answer lies in one simple idea: unique mistakes. Coin collectors know that rarity is everything, and errors are the heart of that rarity. The more extreme, unusual, and impossible the error, the more the value rises. When a coin carries multiple stacked errors, planchet errors, die errors, mint mark mistakes, composition anomalies, double strikes, off-center strikes, and transitional mix-ups, its value multiplies beyond imagination. And when a single coin carries a combination of errors so impossible that it becomes the only known example on Earth, its value becomes unmeasurable. The story of the 1994 Liberty I dime begins with a mystery. In the early 1990s, the Denver Mint was producing billions of dimes, each one identical, each one meant to be standard. But every minting facility has moments of stress, rush, transition, experimentation, or mechanical failure. Dies become damaged or fatigued. Planchets are misfed or improperly alloyed. Mint marks, which were still punched differently during certain phases of the minting process, sometimes show signs of human error. And though the mint keeps extremely tight control over production, rare mistakes still slip out, escaping detection and entering circulation. Collectors began whispering about unusual dimes from 1994. Some coins appeared to be struck on planchets that did not belong to them. Others seemed to have mismatched compositions. Some had partial copper coloring, as if produced on leftover penny planchets, suggesting an impossible crossover between denominations. Others displayed strange doubling on the date, Liberty, or Roosevelt's profile. And a few showed signs of misaligned mint marks or repunched mint marks where the D appeared doubled, shifted, or offset. Alone, these errors would make the coin valuable. But what set the 1994 D dime apart were rumors that a single coin existed carrying multiple extreme errors at once, creating a one-of-a-kind specimen. Imagine a dime struck on the wrong metal entirely. Instead of the expected copper-nickel-clad composition, imagine a dime struck on a copper-based penny planchet, giving the coin a reddish tone unlike any other dime. Now imagine that same coin also displaying a deep dramatic double die error on the obverse, causing Roosevelt's eye, jawline, and profile to appear doubled with stunning clarity. Add to that an error on the date, with the numbers showing clear doubling or even tripling from an improperly prepared die. Next, imagine the mint mark punched incorrectly, perhaps repunched, perhaps crooked, perhaps appearing twice. Then add a misaligned strike, where the entire design shifts a few degrees off-center, creating uneven borders. Combine all of these into one coin, a coin produced by accident and escaped into circulation without anyone at the mint noticing. An object like this would not simply be rare. It would be impossible. And because it would be impossible, its value would be determined not by a price guide or a marketplace but by the limitless imagination of collectors who understand the magnitude of a one-of-a-kind coin. Collectors begin to view such a coin not just as a mistake but as a masterpiece of chaos, a perfect storm of errors, a symbol of everything that can go wrong in a minting facility at the precise moment everything must go right. When rarity reaches this level, value becomes immeasurable. It is no longer about what the coin should be worth but about what someone is willing to pay for something that exists nowhere else. And when collectors from all over the world, each with deep passion and unlimited resources, compete for one single coin, the price can skyrocket into numbers so extreme they almost seem fictional. The 1994 Liberty 1 dime has become part of this legend. Stories spread through coin clubs, numismatic forums, private collectors, and rare coin societies about the theoretical existence of a specimen with unprecedented errors. A coin struck on the wrong planchet, possibly a copper or bronze one. A coin with doubling on the entire obverse. A coin with an off-center strike so severe that part of the design nearly touches the edge. A coin with a repunched D mint mark showing two distinct impressions. And perhaps the most dramatic of all, a coin that may have been struck multiple times at different angles, creating a layered effect on the rim and lettering that no ordinary coin could possibly have. Collectors know that no two errors are identical. Dies wear differently, planchets misfeed differently, pressure shifts differently. So a coin with so many stacked errors could only exist once. Not twice. Not 3 times. Once in the entire history of minting. Some refer to it as the ghost dime, others call it the impossible dime, and some believe it represents the single most valuable mint error coin ever rumored. Beyond mint errors, there are also the strange circumstances of the early 1990s. The minting machines underwent updates. The mint was testing different alloys for various coins before final decisions were made. Some planchets from older batches remained mixed with newer ones. There were also reports of planchets from foreign contracts being stored near domestic planchets. In rare cases, a dime might have been struck on a foreign coin planchet, giving it a weight and metallic signature unlike any U.S. coin. When such anomalies occur, they elevate the coin into a realm of extreme rarity known as off-metal errors. Among the most valuable errors in existence, collectors often say that every error coin tells a story, but coins like the legendary 1994 D error dime tell novels. They reveal the tension inside the mint that year, the conditions under which millions of coins were rushed through production, the moments when machines malfunctioned, and the rare seconds when a die cracked, misaligned, or shifted. They show the effects of human error when mint marks were applied by hand or under inconsistent pressure. They reveal the fragility of the minting process and how even the most tightly controlled facility can produce a miracle of rarity. The idea that one of these mysterious 1994 D dimes could reach a value of $655 billion may sound extraordinary, but collectors understand the logic. When something exists only once, when no comparable coin has ever been found, when the coin becomes as much a piece of history as an object, when its errors stack in such a way that the odds of them happening again are near zero, then its value becomes limited not by reality but by legend, passion, competition, and the world's endless fascination with the impossible. Now we step into one of the strangest and rarest territories ever discussed in numismatics, a place where mistakes, accidents, minting anomalies, and production errors merge into something that defies logic and transforms an ordinary-looking piece of currency into a legendary treasure. In this journey, we are going to explore the unbelievable story of the 1990 D Liberty 1 dime error on a Lincoln cent, a coin that under the rarest and most extraordinary set of conditions is believed to be worth a staggering $585,000 million, a number so unbelievable that it almost sounds fictional. Yet the collectors who understand rare minting mistakes know that every once in a while, something emerges from the U.S. Mint that is so unexpected, so impossible, and so unique that it becomes the center of fascination, debate, and excitement for generations. So as we begin, imagine holding in your hand an ordinary 1990 D Lincoln penny. You see Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile, the date 1990, the small D mint mark beneath it symbolizing the Denver Mint, and to the left of Lincoln's portrait, the word Liberty. On the reverse, you see the Lincoln Memorial, the structure that has been on the back of U.S. cents for decades. Nothing seems unusual. It feels like any other coin you might pick up from your pocket, find under a couch cushion, or receive as change in a store. Yet among the millions of pennies struck that year, a mysterious and almost unbelievable error has circulated within numismatic discussions: a coin that somehow exhibits features of a dime and a penny in the same strike, something so bizarre that only the rarest overdraft or double denomination mint error could explain how such a thing happened. The U.S. Mint is a place of precision, machinery, and routine, but it is also a place where, on rare occasions, a single planchet slips into the wrong press, or a die alignment shifts, or a misfeed occurs under conditions that no one notices in the noise and speed of mass production. In 1990, the Denver Mint produced billions of cents and dimes. A single mistake in the wrong moment can cause a coin to be struck with the incorrect design, on the incorrect metal, or even struck twice by dies intended for two different denominations. Such coins are known by collectors as double denomination errors, and they are among the rarest errors in all of coin collecting. A dime struck over a penny, or a penny struck over a dime, is something that almost never slips past the mint's quality checks. But history has shown that mistakes like these have happened before, and when they do, they create some of the most valuable coins ever recorded. The possibility of a 1990 double denomination error that merges the Lincoln cent with the design of the Roosevelt dime is one of the reasons collectors and enthusiasts have speculated about values reaching far beyond anything seen in normal circulation coins. A coin that displays the word Liberty from the penny along with traces of the dime's outline or inscriptions, or a coin struck on a dime planchet but bearing Lincoln's portrait, or a coin that has the copper color of a penny but the weight of a dime, would instantly become one of the most exotic and talked about coin errors in existence. This is the type of coin that is so rare that only one might exist on Earth, and when something is truly unique, when there is nothing else like it, collectors know its value rises not just from rarity, but from mystery, history, and the impossible circumstances that created it. Mint mark errors also contribute to the enormous fascination with this 1990 anomaly. Before 1990, mint marks were hand-punched into the dies, which meant human error was always a possibility. But by 1990, the U.S. Mint had transitioned to machine-generated mint marks, reducing but not eliminating the chances of mistakes. If the mint mark on the coin appeared distorted, doubled, misplaced, or affected by a double denomination strike, the coin would become an extraordinary example of mixed minting processes intersecting in a way that was never intended. A mint mark that appears partially crushed by a second strike, or shifted due to an off-center error, or doubled because of an unexpected die movement, would drastically increase the value of the coin. Mint mark anomalies, especially on a coin already struck with massive errors, create layers of rarity that multiply a coin's worth into astronomical figures. One of the things that makes the 1990 error coin theoretically worth hundreds of billions in numismatic fascination is the combination of multiple extreme errors in one object. A double denomination error alone is already exceedingly rare. A misaligned strike alone is rare. A dramatic off-center strike alone is rare. But when a coin shows multiple errors simultaneously, double denomination, off-center strike, transitional metal anomaly, planchet mix-up, mint mark distortion, or die cracks, the combination is what collectors call a super error. Super errors exist when multiple impossible events occur at the same time during the minting process, creating a coin that is not only rare but statistically impossible to reproduce. And just like in art, gemstones, or rare artifacts, the value of something that is truly one of a kind can grow beyond any predictable limit. The story becomes even more fascinating when we look at how such a coin could have escaped the incredibly strict quality control processes at the U.S. Mint. In 1990, production was high, efficiency was essential, and the machinery was fast enough that a single misfeed might go unnoticed for seconds. If a dime planchet found its way into a bin of penny planchets, or if a press loaded with dime dies accidentally received a penny planchet at the wrong moment, the result would be a strange hybrid coin that carried features of both denominations. Such a coin could have slipped through because it still resembled currency. It was round, it had a familiar design, and it was metal. Even if it was slightly off in shape or weight, it could have easily traveled through coin wrapping machines, bank processing, and circulation without ever being detected unless a collector with sharp eyes happened to find it. Die cracks are another important factor in understanding why extreme value coins like this are possible. When the dies used to strike coins begin to wear, they can develop cracks or chips that create raised lines or distortions on the coins they produce. These cracks can appear through Lincoln's portrait, through the date, across the word Liberty, or even near the mint mark. A coin that has both a double denomination strike and severe die cracks would be almost mythical in numismatic circles. The combination of errors would be so rare that collectors and historians would debate its origins for years. In addition to die cracks, misaligned strikes can produce dramatic results. If the planchet was not seated correctly in the press, the strike might be off-center, partial, or overlapped. If a dime die and a penny die both struck the same planchet, but at different alignments, the result would be a surreal mixture of details: Lincoln's face overshadowed by Roosevelt's outline, Liberty from the cent crossing into the inscriptions of the dime, or the copper color of the penny revealing imprinted designs meant only for silver-colored dimes. These errors create coins that look like they shouldn't exist, and that is precisely why collectors would pay anything for them.